probably should have said I'm a happily married woman. On the waterway. Tended.
I'm well tended, all right. You.
Me?
They trail you like a hound.
Afraid of your maid?
That's right.
Between first and second.
Between first and that's not a You don't really mind.
He's with Edmund's lawyer in Miami. I know that.
Forget it. Aren't you with me?
I thought we settled that.
Been stalling. They're dragging it.
He said that everything should be clear.
No. He's alive.
The movie Body Heat begins in a small town in Florida during an extreme summer heat wave. The nights feel just as hot as the days, and the air is thick and uncomfortable. Everyone seems restless because of the weather. The heat almost feels like a character in the story, quietly affecting everyone's decisions. We are introduced to Ned Racine, a small-town lawyer who lives a careless and somewhat lazy life. Ned spends most of his evenings drinking at bars or wandering around the city. He is not a bad person, but he often makes poor choices and does not take his career very seriously. One night, after leaving a crowded bar, Ned walks through the quiet streets, trying to escape the heat. As he walks past a shop window, he notices a beautiful woman standing there looking at a display. Her name is Matty Walker. Ned cannot stop staring at her. She has a calm and mysterious presence. When Ned approaches her, the conversation starts casually, but there is already a strong tension between them. Matty speaks politely, but keeps reminding him that she is married. Her husband is Edmund Walker, a very wealthy and powerful businessman in the town. Even though Matty tries to keep distance, Ned is clearly fascinated by her. Their conversation is short, but the attraction between them is obvious. When she finally leaves, Ned watches her walk away, already thinking about her. A few days later, Ned unexpectedly sees Matty again at an outdoor concert by the ocean. The warm night, the music, and the quiet waves create a romantic setting. Ned walks over to her again, and this time their conversation becomes longer and more personal. Matty still reminds him that she is married, but the connection between them keeps growing stronger. Ned begins flirting openly, and Matty does not stop him. Soon after, their relationship crosses the line. One night during another meeting, the tension between them finally breaks, and they begin a secret affair. Their attraction becomes powerful and intense. They start meeting secretly whenever they can. The summer heat almost reflects the growing passion between them. Ned becomes completely obsessed with Matty. She seems elegant, intelligent, and mysterious. Every time they meet, Ned falls deeper into the relationship. During their secret meetings, Matty slowly begins sharing details about her unhappy marriage. She explains that her husband Edmund is very controlling and that she feels trapped in her own life. Edmund Walker is extremely rich and very careful with his money. According to Matty, he does not trust anyone and controls everything she does. Even though she lives in a beautiful house, she says she feels like a prisoner. Ned begins to feel sympathy for her. He starts imagining a life where they could be together without hiding. One night, while they are together, Matty tells Ned something important. She explains that if her husband ever died, she might not actually inherit his fortune. Edmund has placed most of his wealth into legal protections that make things complicated. Because Ned is a lawyer, he understands these legal issues very well. Matty asks him questions about wills and inheritance laws. At first, Ned thinks the conversation is only curiosity. But slowly, Matty begins suggesting something darker. She hints that if Edmund were gone, their lives would completely change. They could leave the town, start a new life, and live freely together? Ned initially laughs it off, thinking she is only frustrated with her marriage. But Matty continues bringing up the idea in a careful and calm way. The more time Ned spends with her, the more his judgment becomes clouded. His desire for Matty grows stronger every day. Eventually, Matty presents a shocking idea. She suggests that if they planned it carefully, Edmund's death could look like an accident. At first, Ned refuses to think about it. Murder is something he never imagined himself being involved in. But Matty continues explaining how miserable her life is and how trapped she feels. She begins to describe Edmund's habits and routines. She knows where he goes when he is alone and what time he usually returns home. The idea slowly begins to take shape. Ned starts thinking about it more seriously than he should. The combination of passion, temptation, and Matty's influence begins to change him. As the hot Florida summer continues, the two lovers slowly begin planning the perfect crime. And soon, their dangerous plan starts moving from fantasy into reality. As the hot Florida summer continues, Ned Racine and Matty Walker slowly move forward with their dangerous plan. What started as an idea during secret conversations now begins turning into a real crime. Ned is nervous, but his feelings for Matty are stronger than his fear. Matty carefully explains how everything should happen. Her husband, Edmund Walker, has a strict routine and often comes home late at night. Matty believes that if the timing is perfect, no one will suspect that his death was planned. But before they move forward, Matty insists on something important. She tells Ned that Edmund recently changed his will. If Edmund dies now, Matty might still not inherit his full fortune. To solve this problem, they must first create a new will that gives everything to Matty. Ned knows this is extremely risky. Forging a legal document could easily get them caught. However, Matty believes it is the only way their future can be secure. With hesitation, Ned agrees. They begin working on a plan to create a fake will. Ned uses his legal knowledge to prepare the document, making it look as real as possible. The goal is to secretly replace Edmund's original will with the new one. One night, Ned sneaks into Edmund's office to place the forged document inside the safe where Edmund keeps his important papers. The situation is tense, and Ned knows that if he is caught, everything will collapse. After successfully placing the document, Ned feels both relief and fear. The plan is now moving too far to stop. Soon after, Matty tells Ned it is time for the final step. The night of the crime arrives during another extremely hot evening. Edmund returns home as usual, unaware of what is about to happen. According to their plan, Ned secretly enters the house, while Matty makes sure Edmund is distracted. When the moment comes, Ned attacks Edmund violently. The struggle is quick and brutal. In the end, Edmund Walker is killed. Ned panics, but remembers the plan. They quickly set the house on fire to make the crime look like a tragic accident caused by the flames. The fire spreads quickly through the house, destroying most of the evidence. Soon the police and firefighters arrive. By the time the fire is under control, Edmund Walker is already dead. The town believes the official explanation. It appears that Edmund died in a terrible accident during the fire, but not everyone is convinced. Ned's close friend, Oscar Grace, who works as a prosecutor, begins to suspect something strange. Oscar knows Ned well and senses that his friend might be involved in something dangerous. Oscar starts quietly investigating the situation. He studies the fire, the will, and the unusual circumstances around Edmund's death. Meanwhile, Ned begins feeling the pressure of what he has done. The fear of getting caught slowly grows inside him. At the same time, Matty remains calm and distant. Instead of celebrating their future together, she seems strangely quiet. Soon, another shocking event happens. Matty Walker suddenly disappears. One day, The police discover that Matty's body may have been found in the burned house remains. The authorities begin believing that she also died in the fire. This revelation shocks Ned. He is confused and terrified. If Matty is dead, then everything he did was meaningless. Oscar continues investigating and soon discovers something important about the forged will. The handwriting and legal details begin raising serious questions. The police investigation slowly moves closer to Ned. Eventually, Ned is arrested and charged with Edmund Walker's murder. During the investigation, Ned finally realizes a horrifying truth. Matty Walker was never the innocent woman he believed she was. In reality, Matty had been secretly manipulating him from the very beginning. She used his emotions and attraction to convince him to commit the murder. The biggest twist comes when the police discover that the woman who supposedly died in the fire was not actually Matty Walker. Matty had secretly created a fake identity using the name Mary Ann Simpson. After the crime, she disappeared completely and started a new life using that identity. She had carefully planned every step of the crime long before meeting Ned. In the final scene of the movie, Matty is shown relaxing alone on a tropical beach somewhere far away. She is living peacefully under her new identity, enjoying the wealth she gained from the crime. Ned, meanwhile, sits alone in his prison cell, finally understanding that the woman he loved never truly existed. The intense Florida heat that once symbolized passion now feels like a reminder of the terrible choices he made. And Matty Walker disappears into the world, leaving behind the perfect crime.